Hi everyone, welcome back to the Mallyj show. It's the day after the big event, Moses Itauma v Dylan White. Well, what can I say? At the moment, make sure you hit that like and subscribe. That's the main thing you need to do. And make any comments, we'll respond to them as soon as possible. Well, as I was saying, big fight in Riyadh last night. It kind of went as expected, but no one expected it to go to last 1 minute 58 seconds. So we was all, I think a lot of people thought he may not go past 3 or 4 rounds, but the destruction in the first round was amazing. Dylan couldn't even get out of first gear, and Moses was on top of him like a cakefish, just hitting him left, right, and centre, up and down. He didn't stand a chance. He was feinting him. He was making him defensive. He backed him up against the ropes. That southpaw start was too much for Dylan. He caught him with some nice right hooks, some nice body shots, some nice feints, and he just had too much youth, too much eagerness, too athletic, and too powerful. And he's definitely got a good boxing IQ. Because for somebody who's coming at 240 pounds, he's boxing like a 160 pounder, bouncing on his toes. It's similar, funny enough, it's similar to Yusuf, that style of boxing. Really good, really economical. But anyway, as I said, Dylan, he got backed up against the ropes in the first round. He never really got off any shots, and yeah, he just got bombarded. I mean, he was very educational the way he took him apart. He picked his shots. He didn't just rush him. And so Moses is a rising young talent. I don't know where Dylan goes after this. I'm not sure whether I don't think he's going to take this as his last fight because I don't think he wants to exit the game like that. I think he wants to exit on a more positive note to try.
Okay.
Was that
So
shit?
how do you see the styles of both of them fighters?
How do I see the styles?
Yeah.
Well, like I said, um, Moses, good southpaw, very good southpaw. He's got good boxing IQ. He's got good, he's got good pace. He's got a good pace, and he can see the distance really well. So he was very very good. He picked him apart like nothing really. He wasn't even in the races, Dylan.
You think the fight was significant for him, for his career? What's gonna happen going forward, do you reckon?
Um, well, he's certainly going to get propelled after this win because even though that wasn't the best of Dillian, but maybe I mean people were saying that Dillian in order for Dillian to stand a chance of winning this fight, he needed to be the Dillian of old. But I don't think the Dillian of old would have necessarily beaten Moses anyway. So and that now I don't think if that was Dillian 10 years ago, maybe it might be different, but I don't know whether Dillian would have beaten Moses. But 10 years ago, Moses would have been 10 years old anyway, so the fight wouldn't have happened. He's only 20. So, yeah, I don't know.
Was the outcome surprising for you, or you kind of expected it? What happened?
What, the result?
Yeah.
No, the result was expected. But the only thing is that we got a little bit hoodwinked into thinking because Dillian came in very good shape, he came in the same weight he did for, I think, Derek Chisora fight, sort of like 8, 9 years ago. He came in at a good weight, so people was anticipating because of that he was going to be a good showing. But you know, it doesn't help when you're doing combat sport. That's the thing. And he's 37 years old. He's fighting a young buck that can pistol whip them shots in like there's no tomorrow. So
So
no,
there
he didn't.
wasn't any turning point or anything that was just expected because of the.
No, there was no turning point, and there was nothing he could have done anyway in the fight. And there's nothing Dylan could have done in the fight that would have been different.
Any lessons they can take it from?
Who? Dillian or no? There's no lessons because Dylan didn't get off. He didn't get off any shots, so there's no lessons there. The main thing for him is that he didn't get beaten up for several rounds. It was just a quick knockout. So most probably is more pride than anything. But at least he wasn't beaten up and he didn't have any swelling eyes. He didn't get knocked out, after getting battered. So in that sense, he'll wake up tomorrow morning. Well, this morning he'll be kicking himself, but at least he's not battered and bruised, isn't it? What do you reckon?
I think so.
So that's how I think. That's what I think anyway.
So that fight doesn't affect the division at all. It's just simple, quick.
It doesn't affect who, sorry?
The division.
But the heavyweight division.
Yeah.
Well, they put some on notice, innit? They put some on notice that they've got a young 20-year-old out called Moses Itauma that's out there, and he's a danger man. And he's not just young. He's young and he's good. That's the difference. He's not just a young guy that's athletic and this guy knows how to fight, and he knows how to fight good. He knows how to use his southpaw stance really well. But I was saying that, the other sort of downside to it as well, but I'm not gonna use too much of it. Because Dylan, he hasn't fought much in the last 2 or 3 years. He's most probably had 2 or 3 fights in the last 2 or 3 years, and they haven't been good fights either. So Dylan is not fought much. So maybe that could have contributed towards the way it ended. But I think the result would have been the same regardless. Whether Dylan had been fighting 5 times a year, I think he still would have lost. But that's just my view.
Do you think there will be a potential for them to fight again?
No. Well, there's no point, is there?
So what would you see him fighting next?
Who? Moses. Oh, they need to put him in. They need to give him most probably a top 10 opponent. I'm not sure which one. They're talking about Joseph Parker. That might be a good fight for him. But the thing about it, if he beats Joseph Parker, then he's going to be springboard. The next fight be a world title fight. That's the thing. And I don't know whether that's too early or whether it makes any difference at all. I don't know. But they're going to have to give him. There's a few good fights he can still take. He can take somebody like Fabio, David Adelaide, who fought on the card, Herkovich, Zhang. There's a few fights he can take and see how he gets on there, because he still hasn't been taken into any rounds. He has been taken into rounds because he's been the distance twice, but that was against survivors. But he's not been taking rounds where he's really had to battle through, has he? That's the thing, and that's what we need to know. Whether he's battle hardened.
So you reckon he didn't come across any challenges yet?
I wouldn't have thought so. No, he hasn't come up with any challenges. No. That's just my view on it. I don't think he has.
Okay. Any final thoughts for today?
Well, I don't know, because I don't know whether. I'm not saying I don't think Dylan should retire. I don't think he will. Not after that first round stoppage. I think he'll look for, or his team will look for, a different type of fight. Somebody who's most probably a similar age of him, 37, 38, 39, 40, so he can have a better exit. And
So you think that he needs to find somebody for his exit fight rather than continuing his career?
well, I would say so, because the guys of his age, like AJ, oh God, what's the guy? Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is kind of like retired. AJ is, they're thinking of putting him with Jake Paul. So if he goes with Jake Paul, that's like a backdoor fight. That's like an exit. That's AJ's exit fight, because that means if he fights Jake Paul, he's not looking at anything. He's not looking at creating any earwaves in the heavyweight division if he fights Jake Paul. That's like an exit fight, a money fight. So I can't see. So there's no one there for. There's Fraser Clark and people like that who are still around about Dylan's sort of age, mid to late 30s, who maybe he would not necessarily beat, but have a better chance. But somebody like Moses, 20, young, spiteful, got to leave them guys alone. And he'll go on. I think Frank Warren is his manager or one of the Warrens, part of the Warren sort of network, they'll steer him onto a a good fight. But it's difficult for it at the moment because he's showing is very good. So I don't know who they will get him as his next opponent. And as I said, round here where we are now, this location is getting a little bit busy now. There's a little bit more to talk about the other fights. But what we'll do, we'll catch up at a later date. And on that note, make sure you hit that like and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you enjoyed the sunshine. And I'll see you again on the next round.